Right guys and girls, Mark Crossfield here. Got a great question from David. He is asking, he's basically saying, why do I tend to fall forward when I finish? Or he finishes and falls into the ball. He's done things to try and stop it and he struggles. So what might that be about? Now, without seeing a swing, it could be a lot of things, but this is a common thing I would see with students. And I've captured two swings on Swing Catalyst, which I'm going to show you in a second, which is this plate here on the ground. So he's talking about hitting shots, and I guess he is basically hitting it and then kind of falling that way. Because obviously there's two forwards in golf. There's forward and then there's forward. Because you finish facing forward, but you start facing forward. I might be wrong, and in the comments let me know, but I'm going to go with that forward, which is a common one, falling that way. Now, in the question, he mentions that he plays off 10-ish and that he's a decent ball striker, so this isn't something you might not need to change at all. So first off, let's think about maybe getting some real lessons to see if this is an effect rather than me giving you something here that might not help you. But these are some ideas you could think about, and anyone else watching this video, you might think, oh, look, that does sound like me, I'll try that, and then go and see if it's any better or worse. And if it's worse, stop. And definitely with any of these ideas, go and see a pro and say, look, I'm trying this, I've seen this video, does this apply to me, will it help? You could even use this video. I always think you could go to a pro and say, look, this is me, this is the video I've watched and I think this is going to help me. Should I have a lesson? And if you came to me as a pro with that, I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to book you in, try and earn some money, that's my job, and we'll look at the video together and see if it does apply to you. So let's go have a look at the old swing cat. So there's two things here I want you to look at. Swing on the left here is the one where I fall forward. Swing on the right is the one where I actually move away from the ball. So you can see where I finish with my weight kind of, or pressures way back left. My left foot literally shoots back. Where this one, you can see the pressures are all out towards the toe. So this is the toe area here, this is the heel. Now, if you look at the big difference in the starting position, so my swing, I start much more on the balls of my feet. So you just see my heels touching. This is pressure, this is lead foot, this is trail. So as if we're hitting the ball this way. And I'm kind of more up towards my toes almost with my pressure, certainly on the balls of my feet as I shuffle back and forwards to go. Now this one on the left, where I tried to fall forwards, you can see I started with two red blodges in my heels. So I kind of sat back this way. Then what I did is I made a swing where I stayed sat back that way, and then to hit the ball, I shoved my pressures that way onto my toes to try and hit the ball. So if we go top of the backswing, you can still see pressures very much on the heel, where on my action swing, the one I play, you can see the heels aren't really, the lead heel's starting to a little bit now, but I'm definitely more up on my balls of my feet to my toes still compared to this one sunk way in the heels. And then as soon as they start down, what you're going to see is the one on the left here. Look how much it moves way up into my toes as I throw that pressure forward. Now, the same thing happens with my other swing. So the full forward swing, I'm back here, up onto my toes, try and hit it. Because I'm moving this way and the pressures are going that way, basically as I turn, the momentum just steps that right forwards. It's going to be almost impossible to stop. Where with my lead foot pressures, what I'm doing, starting more on the balls of my feet, I'm turning and I'm quite dynamic on the balls of my feet. You might see some people get more in the trail heel, but that's not as common as was once thought before we had pressure plates. And then what I'm doing is I'm pushing into my toes with the idea of the ground pushing back and getting out of it. So I'm using my pressure load into toes to create energy this way, which creates rotation. It literally pulls this foot back. You're not, you're starting heels, then toes with the momentum going that way. My push this way is the push back. It's the push out of it. And there's the key difference. Remember, I don't know if this is you because I haven't seen your swing, but this is a pattern that I do see with golfers. And we see the lead foot pull back. It literally leaves the mat, which is why we see hardly any pressures here. Where this one, the heels are in the air as I'm pushing, trying to hold on to my balance for dear life before that trail foot basically just, whoa, steps forward because there's nothing left. The toes just can't help me. So one simple thing you can do to play with this, just get another golf club. If you've got an old one, for some people helps, subject to what you're stepping on this club with. So I've just got soft kind of pimples on my shoes, so I don't mind stepping on the shaft of the club. I'm just going to put it behind my mat here because I don't want to step on my mat on it. And I'm going to put this shaft now onto the middle of my feet. And I'm going to make a backswing where I feel like I stay on the middle, and then as I come down I'm going to feel like I stay on the middle, turning maybe onto the heel. Then I'm going to do one where I turn and get the pressures onto the heel. So a different movement. And then as I start down, I'm going to feel like I'm now pushing on the toe, so forward of this golf shaft on the ground, to then try and get my heel connecting. So I'm going to use this straight line to get a feel of how the pressures are working on my feet this way and this way with rotations. And then from that, you can hit shots that way. I'm not going to do it on my mat. You can work out what creates the better shot. So does it work better if you do turn into your trail heel, push on the toe and then back onto the lead heel? If it does, if that creates better shots, then use that. If that keeps you more balanced in situation. One of the big problems I would see with what you've got going on is sloping lies. When you start going this way and the lie is pushing you in a certain direction as well, that can get quite messy. To get that club on the ground, feel how you are pushing in the ground a little bit and see if you do move it, if it actually improves anything or not. Doesn't mean it always will, but sometimes it might, and if it does, and your strikes improve, you hit more targets, then it's a good thing. Thanks for the question. Remember, this is my Q&A channel. It's still Mark Crossfield here. Hello, but you're not watching this on my main channel, you're watching this on my Q&A channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you've not subscribed already. Answering your questions, that's all I'm trying to do here.